Hello again and welcome to the TryPod NRL betting podcast, and this week we preview round 8 and it's a very special pod. We've got 5 special guests this evening, including a special appearance by Mick from MICK'S.
Yeah, we're doing it live and unadulterated tonight. Anything could happen, probably will, and could be an unmitigated disaster, but you know, this is a momentous occasion, bringing it to the people live at the RE tonight. The crowd's gone wild, as you can hear, if you can't hear us tonight. And it's going to be hopefully a quick pod as well, but something a bit different for you tonight.
This will be a quick pod, and yeah, let's just race through the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a tumultuous couple of weeks, I think it's fair to say. You know, we've been on the wrong side of a few results, but we've still got a winning record. We've got to believe in the system. You know, a wise person once said that steady seas never made a skilled sailor.
Who said that?
I reckon they'll get up.
So Chivy Rose posted it on Facebook. I saw it.
Wise.
It was a status.
Wise.
So you want to get straight into round 8, mate?
Let's get straight into round 8.
We've got a couple of experts on board that we're going to bring in to speak about their respective teams. We're also going to try and race through it. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So first up, we got the Doggies hosting the Tigers. Lines ranging from Tigers plus 2.5 to plus 4, and the total sitting at 40.5.
Yeah, and we saw this game. It was about 4 weeks ago on a Friday night, and the Tigers should have won. The Tigers were up 16, and that was the Tigers without Aaron Woods, without Halatau, without Pat Richards. Now it's kind of the shoes on the other foot. We've got the Doggies missing Josh Morris, missing Tim Laffey, missing James Graham, missing Clemmer. So am I missing something? I feel like we've got to take the Tigers here. They're an improved side this year.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. Tigers are basically at full strength. We've got the Doggies still missing a few guys, and I mean, we're catching up to 4 points with this one. I feel like I'm happy to make that a best bet, and I feel like this could be a low-scoring affair. I mean, the Doggies still missing a bit of firepower in the attack, and yeah, I'm happy to take plus 4 with the Tigers. And I've also seen Doggies under 22.5, and I don't think they're going to get past that. I mean, that's basically 4 converted tries.
You're right, and I think the Dogs are favoured here, and they put up about 28 last week, but that was against an absolutely depleted Manly. So I'm with you there. We have 2 best bets already, the Tigers plus 4 and Doggies under 22.5.
Doggies! Moving along now, we got the Warriors over the ditch. The Warriors hosting the Titans. We got the Titans plus 8 to 8.5. We got the total sitting at 42.5.
Who's playing the Titans?
Warriors!
That's the Warriors against the Titans. The Warriors, I don't know how they didn't win last week. They conceded 18 points in the final 20 minutes. 2 of them were dive overs from dummy half, and one of them was a bomb that was dropped on the goal line. They absolutely gave that one away. I do think they'll bounce back with a purpose here. The Titans have probably been playing as well as they can. They're missing the Coal Train. Could be a problem. I'd probably see New Zealand winning, but I don't want to lay 8.5 points with the Warriors.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, New Zealand could easily roll here, but they're such an up-and-down team. You can't really trust them, and 8.5 points is a lot. But we do have a friend of ours that has a strong feeling about this. And do we want to wait till MICK'S, or do we want to get an opinion here? Let's get him in here.
Yeah, look, we'll bring him in here. As you know, MICK'S has had a cult following, one of the favoured parts of the pod. And here he is, his pod debut. Mick, how you going tonight, mate?
G'day, lads. Honour to be here. Honour to be on the pod. First time. Yeah. I mean, people might have lost faith in the tips, but Ken's hasn't. My number one cheer girl down the end here. And yeah, I really like the Titans plus 8.5 I saw in New Zealand. I think the Warriors aren't all that. They'll be in my best bet. They'll be in my multi, so.
And I know what you're saying, that Warriors haven't shown us enough that you can trust them laying 8.5 this year. It's fair enough. We've questioned the Warriors' ability as well. We're not playing the game ourselves. We'll be cheering hard for the Titans there, and that's catching quite a few points that they can at least keep it close.
So it's a pass from the pod boys, but we'll obviously hear about MICK'S later in the app. But next up, we've got the Knights hosting the Cowboys. Knights catching anywhere from 4 to 4.5 points, and the total sitting at 40.5.
And this is a revenge spot for the Cowboys. Obviously, the Knights went up and got them at Dairy Farmers earlier this year. That's one reason that makes me kind of look to North Queensland. But I really want to play the Knights here off 3 losses. It's a strong side. They've let themselves down the last few weeks. I think a key out for them is Beau Scott. I really think that forward pack isn't the deepest in the comp, but Bo Scott is an origin level forward and they've really missed him with his ankle injury. Having said all that, I think the Cowboys can win a tight one. I don't want to lay the 4 points, so I'm passing this game too.
Yeah, I think the 4 sounds about right. And we talked about this earlier in the week, and we said, look, if Bo Scott was in, we would probably play the Knights at plus 4.5. But with him out, it's just going to have to be a pass from us here.
And next game?
Next game, we got the Roosters hosting the Dragons. Roosters laying 6.5 points, the total sitting at 39.5. And we have the big honour of having Westy, who's flown all the way over from Perth, a loyal Roosters supporter. He's flown all the way over just to be on the pod. You want to give us your 2 cents on this game, Westy?
Yeah, Westy's our Western correspondent. Actually, why don't I ask you a question, Westy? So the Roosters, when we all probably agreed they were definitely a top 4 lock this year, a really loaded side, but you've lost Blake Ferguson, you've lost Aidan Guerra, you've lost Jared Weir-Hargraves, all at least origin level players. How confident are you feeling about this week and moving forward?
Well, it's typical Roosters style. Win the first couple of games, and then we'll lose a few, and then come back and win the season. What more can I say, guys?
Would you say that's like the pod? Win the first couple of weeks, lose the next couple, and then we'll be on an upward swing again?
Yeah, definitely liken it to the pod. You know, it's only up from here, guys, after the last couple of weeks.
And when you are a big side, you have a target on your head and teams play harder against you. And I think the pod, it's got such a high stature that I think teams play harder when we pick against them in the pod as well. Seems to be that way. We've seen a lot of last-second tries.
The chooks
Ending
are like
us.
a Sunday afternoon special, mate. They may be a $4 chicken, but they're fucking off. Nobody wants them.
Now, just this is a family show. We don't usually have swearing.
No.
Apologise for the language there, but that's what you get when it's live and unedited. What's the next game we got here?
And just to be clear, we've been burnt twice in the last 2 weeks by the Chooks, so we are going nowhere near that Nando's chicken.
Actually, that's
all. A hole in our ring.
This is the week.
Now, we've raced through 4 straight games, 4 more to go, but we'll open it up to the crowd here. Has anyone got a question for the pod? Ken's, I see beautiful lady over here. It's hard to describe for the pod. You're missing out that it's only audio.
Come wandering over to listen to the pod out of nowhere.
One of many female fans, probably.
I don't really know what's going on in the football, but I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the Goon Bag. 50 years of loyal service from the Goon Bag. Any of you who've had pain or triumph through the Goon Bag, take today to say thank you. Check it out at brisbanebackpackers.com.au.
Oh, we have a new sponsor, mate. Really good.
And shout out to Brisbane Backpackers, loyal sponsor of the pod.
Sponsor of the pod. Go check them out.
Look, we've got another bloke, another very good looking bloke in the audience here. I'll just hand it over. What's your name, buddy?
I'm Brogs from Brogs Rogues, formerly of I Like Iran, 6-0 favourites most games. Now, can the pod answer this question? MICK'S picks 0-5. At what stage do you cut him loose? Seriously, like Dylan Dobson's got a wedding to pay for, and mate, at 0-5, he can't afford flowers, let alone a wedding.
Yeah, and it's a great question. I mean, it's a long season, and this is what we try to say as bettors. Never get too high, never get too low. You've got to have faith in the system.
Sometimes you should get too high.
That's true, and we've certainly had some ultra lows this season too, but you've got to believe in the system. We believe in MICK'S picks. He has the full support of the board right up until we fire him.
Given most of his bets are over $10 odds, so in reality, they should only win 1 in 10 times, and I mean, it's only been 5 weeks.
And if he can cash one bet this year, he can pay for the whole season's losses. Any more questions in the audience?
No.
Oh, we might have one more.
It's both as round as you don't buy it.
You know the answer to that's no.
Obviously.
What have we got next?
We got the Storm hosting Manly. Storm laying 12.5 and the total sitting at 40.5.
And we have seen quite a few rematches this round taking place, and this is another one. Manly did beat the Storm, got the better of them by 2. That was a game where they didn't have Foran, and Cherry Evans played out of his mind. Now, I think the Storm are just riding a little too high. We don't love the Storm. We think they've had a pretty soft schedule. Manly's had an absolutely horrid year, but I think this is a big rivalry game for them. I think they're going to show up. As far as we know, we've got 4 and back. That's enough for me. I want to take Manly plus 12.5, and I want to take the Storm under 26.5 because I think it's going to be low scoring.
Yeah, I tend to agree, and obviously Manly beat the Storm in the earlier rematch this year. 12.5 points is a lot of points to lay with a Storm team that we still don't really believe in. Obviously Manly getting Foran back and losing Lyon again, but I feel like Foran's a more integral part of the team, and obviously he can create some plays in there. I love this play. I'm going to take Manly plus 12.5, and I'm happy to take Storm under 26.5. I think in a rivalry game is always a bit low scoring, so I'm happy to make those two a best bet. Now, moving on, we've got the Broncos hosting Para. We've got Broncos laying 8 points, and the total sitting at 40.5.
And to me, this was an obvious spot to go against Brisbane. Parramatta's a bogey team for Brisbane. Parramatta's probably slightly underrated at this point, but we got a problem. Brisbane lost last week, and Parramatta won. So I think it's going to be a renewed focus from Brisbane, and I think the Eels may be riding a little too high after scoring 30 points against the Knights last week. Now, I believe this could be another one of Mick's picks, so I might see if Mick will share his thoughts on the Parramatta-Brisbane game.
Para-Brisbane.
Yeah, look, I'm not much of a statistician, but I feel like Parramatta is a bit of a bogey team with the Broncos. I can remember them beating them at Suncorp a couple of times in recent years, and I really like them plus 8 here. I think they're going all right. They're going under the radar a little bit. Halves are playing well. You got Hopewadi in the centres. No one thought that they could cover without Hayne at the back, but I think they've done a really good job. Yeah, they might even sneak into the 8. And I really like them here against the Broncos. I think the Broncos have had it a bit easy, a couple of easy wins, and everyone likes seeing the Broncos go down at Lang Park. So,
and I've got a resident Broncos fan here as well. We're just talking about the Broncos-Eels match. So what are your thoughts on this weekend?
Oh, the Eels normally give the Bronx a bit of a touch-up. They struggle, but I think Corey Parker, if he continues to offload like he has been most of the season, the Bronx play quite well off the back of Corey, so I don't even know what the line is, but I'd back him.
And I've got 8 words for you blokes. Semi rad is not back, and that's why the Eels are not a best bet for us. What's our next game we're previewing?
We got the Penny Panthers hosting the Sharkies, and we have our Cronulla expert here in the house tonight. Now this game's sitting at Pickham. We got the total sitting at 42 points. And I don't know, should we let the Sharkies expert talk about it first?
Yeah, now just something that a lot of punters can suffer from is something we call recency bias, a bit of overreaction. This particular guy told me that we should never bet on the Sharks all season after round 3, but here they are, really a juggernaut. They've beaten the Roosters and Bunnies in the last 3 weeks. Who knows how he feels about them now? Why don't we get Mick's thoughts on the Sharks playing Penrith?
Mixed pick!
yeah, look, I have to admit that I did say that to Jacob, that you just never bet on the Sharks. You never know what you're going to get. But after 3 in a row, which not many people saw coming, I really like them against the Panthers here. Still no Soward. They have 2 absolute no-names in the halves. And I just really think the Sharks can make it 4 in a row here. That just a bit of confidence, a bit of youth. The youth have no fear, and I think that they're taking the Sharks back to the top.
Well, you might not be wrong, but I think Penrith is still a contending side. They're missing their halves as well. There's no Soward, no Wallace, as Mick said. But I think you get a massive defensive effort from Penrith this week, and I think the Sharkies are a good defensive side that are still a little bit limited offensively. That's why I'm looking to the under in this game. I'm looking for a low-scoring match. In fact, I feel really good about the home team. I think they'll keep the Sharkies under 21 points. I think 4 tries is a bit too much. I think it's going to be a real arm wrestle of a game.
Yep, I tend to agree. So we're taking the total under 42, and we're taking the Sharkies under 21. Last game of the round, we got the Rabbits hosting the Raiders. Rabbits laying 9.5 points, and the total sitting at 45.5. And I like the Rabbits here. I think they're going to have a big game.
Look, the Rabbits are winning this game by 30, aren't they? Can't really say too much about it. Just a difference in class between the sides. That's all I can really say. Now,
Fuck this, we're taking the rabbits!
now, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to hear this at all. But before we wrap up our best 8 bets, we want to hand it over to Mick, who's going to give Mick's picks live, if you can hear it.
Thanks, boys.
They made the music so loud! Why? Proudly sponsored by Emily Holland's Meat Factory.
I'm not sure you can hear anything here. It's crazy loud at the RE. It's about to go off here. But this week, Mick's Picks, once again proudly sponsored by Dylan Dobson's Big Wheels Truck Alignment, which he rang me this week and said he'll be bankrupt if we don't come off this week. So hopefully this comes off for you. We're going to kick things off in the league, and despite what the boys said, I really like the Titans over in New Zealand. I like the Titans plus 8.5 against the Warriors. That's on Saturday to kick off Anzac Day. Then we're going to go to the horses at the Gold Coast. I really like in race 7, number 12, Shrakandi. $2 to run a place. And then the third bet, which is actually coming live from the Mayor of Emerald, the Bareback Bandits' best bet is at Flemington. Race 7, number 6, Silver Ball. $1.70 to place. He thinks it's an absolute shoe-in there. We're going to mix things up this week, a couple extra sports. So we're going to go to the AFL. For the fourth bet, we've got Port Adelaide to turn things around from the prelim final last year and beat the Hawks at $2.25. Which moves us to another league game with the Eels. I love the Eels away at Suncorp against the Broncos. Plus 8.5, maybe 8, depending on where you're looking on Saturday night. And we'll finish things off with a Super Rugby game for once. The Reds, they are hopeless. I like the Reds, but they are hopeless. They will not win this game. And the Hurricanes minus 8 is a bet. I think they'll win by 30. That's a 6-leg multi this week. We haven't gone conservative despite our 0-5 record. And that's 6 legs at 52 to 1. Chuck $20 on it, win a G. See how you go. Good luck. And as always, please gamble responsibly.
Alright, so just a quick recap of our best bets before we head out of here. This music's getting bloody loud. So we got the Tigers plus 4 points, and we've also got the Doggies to go under the 22.5. No play on the New Zealand Gold Coast game, likewise with Knights and North Queensland. We got Manly plus 12.5, plus we've got the Storm to go under 26.5 as the best bet. We're passing on the Broncos Para game. Then we've also got the Penrith Cronulla game to go under the posted total of 42. And we've got the Sharkies to go under 21 points. And then we hate laying big points, but we're going to do it with the Rabbits this week. We've got the Rabbits laying 9.5 points. And we also love the Raiders to go under the posted team total of 18. And that should wrap it up, unlike Heathy for the night.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been a bit loud. I hope that you've heard it. We can barely hear ourselves, so not sure if you can hear this. Check out our NBA pod. I think we've covered 7 of 8 so far. Doing well there. Good luck to Mick's Picks. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks, everyone in the crowd tonight. And as always, we say every week, please.
We put horses in stand-up minces.
Please.
Please.
Thanks for listening, guys. Sponsored by BrisbaneBackpackers.com.au.
Please. Thanks, Obscenity. Thanks, Brisbane Backpackers. Please gamble responsibly.